Good afternoon, happy Monday, TGIM. You guys know how much I love Mondays, and so I thought this was going to be really appropriate for me to do a video for you guys on meal planning. So lately I've been getting asked a ton with our new groups, how do I go about meal planning? And I've been asked for meal plans and recipes and all kinds of stuff. Tons of questions have been coming in for our participants. They're, bored with their food, or I get before they start the group, I don't know if I can do this. It's so strict. What are the other things? I say, oh, it's boring. I can't eat plain food, and I'm trying to debunk all these myths all the time, right? So I thought it would be really fun for me to put together kind of a really great a meal planning video for you guys, and then give you some really great, cool tips that I use to be successful, and that what helps me in planning, and so on and so forth. Now, everybody's family dynamic is a little bit different, so you can take what I have to say and tweak it according to your needs and your goals and that sort of thing. So let's just start off by, most people that I speak to, we talk about using the color-coded container system. And that's whether you're starting off with the 21-day fix, the new country heat, 22-minute hardcore. Most of our new programs nowadays, including our Beachbody on Demand package, come with the color-coded container system. Now, right away, people always say to me, it's like a diet. I can't eat that little amount of food. And I'll tell you right now, you'll be really surprised at how much food this is. It's a lot of food. The first thing that most people say to me after we get them started on their first week is, do I have to eat all this? The answer is yes, you do. So it's not like you're restricting yourself. You actually can get everything that you already eat and portion control them into these containers. It's a lot of food. Fill this thing with cheese. Hello, it's like a good ounce of cheese. That's a lot of cheese. You've got your nuts and seeds, your veggies, which is huge, fruits, which is huge again. I mean, I'm not a fruit person, so it's hard for me to get these down, honestly. And red is protein, and yellow is carbs. And these are like recommended servings that you'll find on most packages and things like that. So it's not restricting you. It's not less than you should eat by any means. Most people don't really realize that the key to losing weight and having that balanced and healthy lifestyle is eating more food, not necessarily less. Not diet food, fat-free food. Quality over quantity, okay, guys? So think about it in that way. The other really cool thing is, if you've ever heard people talk about macros, I'm eating my macros, I'm counting my macros, these are macronutrients also. So this is a simplified version where any lay person on the street can start eating using their macros. So that's kind of just taking the math out of things, and you fill up according to your needs, and you eat what's daily allotted. So you don't get like one of these a day. You get like 4 or 5 of these a day. For me right now, for example, I'm doing the Master's Hammer and Chisel. So it's a strength training program. All the books come with a calculator to go by in there. So you are basing your calculations. Sorry, I've got something wet on me, so if it's looking weird. All the books are based on a calculation for your body. So it asks you if you're a male or a female, and it asks you what your weight is, and it asks you what kind of a job you have. Do you sit around all day? Are you a laborer on a construction site? What is your goal? Do you want to build muscle? Do you want to lean out? Do you want to maintain? And that, I will tell you right there, is going to be the key to your success, that nutrition component. You're talking about, really big different goals there. And then this is just one example. So like if you're doing the 21-day fix or country heat or insanity max 30, they're going to have a different guideline because it's a different program, okay? I'm burning a lot more calories and doing a lot more things with my muscles on this program than I would be doing with, say, country heat or a lean out program like max 30, right? That's a cardio-based program. So this is why we have these guides. A lot of really smart people put these together for us to basically design and put everything in place so that all we have to do is follow the workouts, buy the calendars every single day, follow the nutrition, eat what we're supposed to, and you'll see that success. So let's see. So the way that I meal plan, I actually meal plan backwards. Okay, so I have a family. We make five. I have a 5-year-old boy, a 7, almost 8-year-old girl, and I have a almost 11-year-old. So I plan my day backwards, meaning that I start with dinner first, so that I know basically that my husband and I and my oldest are going to eat the same thing. The other two are a little bit picky, and I admit I do cater to them just because for most of the time I don't want to fight with them. And I also feel like my oldest was like that too. So as he gets older, as they get older, I'll be able to say to them, look, this is what we're having now, you're going to eat this, and so on and so forth. But that's a whole nother video, right? So I plan my day backwards, starting with dinner. So I plan a protein, a veggie, a starch, and usually my fats of whatever nature will go with that. For the most part, the family as a whole eats the protein and the starch, and sometimes the vegetables, right? And I portion mine out. And then depending on how my day is, if I know I'm on a lower carb day, then I might not eat the starch. But if like today I'm having 3 carbs tonight I will have the starch. So it basically, and I kind of now I know by eyeballing it how much that exactly is. I tend to sometimes go over on vegetables because you really can't get enough of green vegetables, and I try to stick to mostly green vegetables. So I plan my dinner first, okay? So I know that they're gonna come home, and like tonight, for example, our steak is already marinating in there. It's gonna be steak, maybe a baked potato. I tend to do stuff plain, and if I'm making potatoes for everybody, like my husband and my son maybe will do French fried potatoes. We'll cut them up in wedges and fry them in like coconut oil or something, because they can get away with the extra calories, right? It's not like I really need to watch their intake like with a fine tooth comb, right? My son is growing. My husband isn't, a person that eats. He eats relatively well. So planning backwards. So I count, those are my containers for dinner first. And then the next thing I plan is my Shakeology, because I know that that's going to be a staple in my day. Usually have that in the afternoon, and that is 1 red for me. And then, so that's, my 2 meals right there that are staples. And then I look at breakfast. For the rest of the day, for the most part, I'm alone. So I really don't have to factor in anyone else's needs, which is great. So my breakfast is the same exact thing every morning with the exception of the veggies. I have oatmeal. I have an omelet with either goat cheese or grass-fed cheddar from, my favorite is Kerrygold. And then I'll either do mushrooms and zucchini or mushrooms and spinach. And that is always the same exact thing every morning. I know I'm boring, but for me, when I stay focused and I have the set thing, that is how I stay on track. So it doesn't bother me. You can also, instead of the cheese, you could do avocado and sriracha sauce. I've done that with spinach. That's amazing. Personally, I never would have thought about avocados and eggs before, but it is awesome. I had to eat that during prep because cheese was off limits once you got towards the end of things. So that was really good. And then, so that's 3 meals, right? And then my lunch, always the same too. Let me show you what I do. I always have ground meat or rice in my fridge. You can see our fridge here. So this is my mom's house right now. We are a big family, 7 of us with my niece here. But my rice and my ground meat are always in the fridge. And then what I typically do is, depending on where I am with my containers, my vegetable is always, or most likely typically, frozen green beans or peas and carrots. I've also done carrots and mushrooms. So it's really just kind of like how much time I have. If I want to do up carrots and mushrooms, I'll saute. That kind of dynamic. And then my fat is usually cashews with that. A lot of times I just do like a rice bowl. So it'll be like corn, beans, peas, carrots, that kind of medley, and then with the rice and the ground meat, turkey or chicken. That in there is jasmine rice. It's not plain white rice. I suggest staying away from plain white rice. And you can go with the jasmine or you can go with brown rice, whatever your preference is with that. And you could also go with like a brown rice noodle too. I've done that. Although I just prefer to have the rice, just it's always in there. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4 meals. And then, no wait, let's see, yeah, that was dinner, Shakeology, breakfast, lunch, and then I said the Shakeology. I'm trying to think of what's next. Usually, I think my extra food is usually recharge before dinner. Before bed. Beachbody Performance has the recharge, and I usually also do a post protein after my workout. So that is my extra protein in there. But that will just kind of give you an idea of how I plan my day. Now, if you're someone that works 9 to 5, you're going to have to plan your day a little bit more in advance, right? And have pre-made food. So I would still follow the same guidelines, but then you could pack, maybe you have your Shakeology at a different time of day because that's going to work better for you. I'm home when I drink mine in the afternoon, so that just works. And then, your dinners, your home, usually typically, right? So kind of take that into consideration. That is how I plan my day, is backwards, to make sure I get all the containers and I accommodate my family members and everybody's happy, right? So another really great thing or questions I get is, I'm bored of my food, or I need more recipes or something to that effect. So I really, really, really love Autumn's book, okay? Now you could simply Google 21 Day Fix approved recipes family recipes on Pinterest, on Google, and you will come up with hordes and hordes of different things to choose from. So that is a really great resource, Google. But the book, again, if you can get your hands on this cookbook, she's got everything from appetizers to desserts to breakfast to skinny cocktails, dips, dressings, and everything, all in this book, and it's all according to the containers, all 21 Day Fix approved. We're actually going to make the mac and cheese tomorrow night for the family. I'm kind of excited about that because everybody's ears perked up when I said, would you like mac and cheese for dinner? And they're thinking, that healthy? Yeah, it's healthy. I'm going to make it good. Don't worry. Another really great thing to think about too is what you can do to your food, okay? It doesn't have to be plain. I see salt just about everything. There's actually this place in New Hampshire called the Salt Cellar, and you can get online and order from them. It's called thesaltcellar.com, and this is actually lemon salt, but they have jalapeno salt, they have ginger salt, they have sweet salts too. It's really, really good, and it just adds so much flavor, and it's sea salt, so it's good for you too. You really can't go super overboard with it, so it's sort of like, a healthy salt to continue to have. Table salt is not healthy, and that's why people say, don't have salt and things in your food. Certainly, prepackaged processed foods are full of sodium, and you don't want that either. But something like, plain green beans or something that you add this to, that is completely healthy and okay to do. Another favorite of mine is Flavor God, and they are all salt-free too, and no MSG or any stuff in them. These are really good too, and then you can add the salt, the sea salt, to it afterwards, right? I love finding like hot sauces and stuff. There's a ton of hot sauces that are out there that are sweetened with, dates and molasses and things like that that are good for you, healthy, that you can mix and pour, like I mentioned earlier, with the avocado. You can use sriracha, you could use chili sauce, all those kinds of things to kind of liven up your taste buds. So, for the most part, that is how I go about my meal planning. I hope that was really helpful. If you're struggling or you need help with the containers, or you need help with meal planning, or, you just want to, take the guesswork out of it and have a meal plan sent to you, I can share that with you. I have a couple different ones that I'd be happy to share and send with you for you and your family. If you're interested in joining one of our full-on accountability groups. We start those every single month, about the third Monday of the month they get started. We focus on fitness, nutrition, accountability, of course, the group support, as well as one-on-one coach support with me, and basically helping you to figure out where your goals and needs are going, help you find that healthy balance in your lifestyle. We practice and talk a lot about the 80-20 rule, which means that 80% of the time you're eating healthy and working out, and then 20% of the time, we're having a little bit of fun, having a cocktail here and there. Wine is even allowed on the color-coded container system program, so rest assured there's kind of an answer and a fix for everyone. It's kind of really exciting. We've got a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of months as we close out the year, so if you have any questions or you need any help at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. My information is at the bottom, and subscribe to my channel so that when a new video pops up, you'll be the first to know. Thanks, have a great day.